Mr. Grado?
Anything Grado. My impression has been talking to people that they look at me as the outsider candidate. I haven't been in city government. This is actually my first run for public office. But that by no means I'm unaware of what's going on in the city, in the politics of the city, or in the politics on a larger scale. I don't have a business in town. I don't have money in town. What I do have is my family invested. And they're sitting right here. I've known several of y'all. You'll hear my son and my daughter talk every now and then if you're ready. They're excited. They're excited to be here and see this, and I want them to see this because they're the future of this family. And that's why I'm involved. I'm not doing this for any other candidate. I'm not doing this for any individual. I'm doing this because I want this community to be the best it can be for my family and families just like us. We've seen and experienced a lot of the decisions that we've made. We live on a fixed budget. I'm a teacher, teach special education. Taught at Liberty for a while and then transferred me to Easley. My wife stays home. We've got 3 kids that are preschool age, and by the time she could get a job and make money, it would cover about the cost of putting them in daycare. So we live on a fixed budget. And we have experienced very personally the decisions that have been made that impact a lot of families on fixed budgets, young and old. There have been many months we looked at our budget and we said, where's that extra $30 going to come from? Because this got raised, or because we have to cover this. We've been there. We know what it's like. We're still there. Unfortunately, my experience has also been that in large part, the city hall here has been unapproachable. You can't get an audience, and if you call, you don't get a response. If you were to ask a lot of the citizens here in Liberty who the representative is, my experience from being on the streets talking for the last 8 weeks is they don't know. That's the city's fault. That aspect of it, you can't sit and wait for a phone call to you. You need to be going to the people and saying, what's going on in your life? How is this impacting you? What can we do to make this easier on your family so you can survive and stay here? Because we haven't only lost businesses, we've lost families. We've seen a lot of families fall apart. We've seen families move to other places because there's not employment here. And when the city hall is unapproachable, it creates an environment where families feel like they're on their own. And this is a great community. My big thing is the people in City Hall are not the government. You are. The citizens are the government. It's the way it was set up in the founding. One of the things I love, I've been able to teach history over the years. I teach special education, but I teach history in those classes. And the thing I've learned is the government was set up so the people were to have a voice. And if the people are being represented, those representatives have to know the people. And if the people don't know the representatives, how can they represent them? That's the problem I've had. Over the last 2 months, I've been out talking to a lot of people. Like I said, I've probably knocked on 200 or more doors. What I've found is the average citizen has a very pessimistic and very cynical view of what's going on in our city. And that breaks my heart because it's a great place to live, and it shouldn't be that. They feel like the city council is disconnected from what's going on in their lives. And I'll admit there have been times over the last 6 years since we moved back to this area that I felt the same. That it doesn't matter. I'm just one of the citizens. I'm not a big deal. I don't even deserve a phone call. That's the attitude I've experienced on multiple occasions. I believe that I can help remedy that. I've been on the streets talking to people. I spent 3 hours this past Saturday walking door to door to talk to people and find out what's going on. What does the city need to do to help you and your family be successful? I believe in using social media effectively. I don't think we do that. I think especially with the younger generations, if we want them involved, we have to use the internet. We have to use social media, and it has to be accessible. Our website is not. It is not easily navigated. It's not easy to find information. And if you find information, it's not necessarily in a format that an average person without a doctorate can read and understand. It shouldn't be that way. I have a personal website. It's graygoldfordliberty.info. It's actually my campaign site, but it's elected. I plan on keeping it. And you'll find a posting of every single vote I have on that website. I believe in what's called negative government. That means that we are here to defend your rights. We don't give you your rights. Our job is to defend them. And I think your rights are to have low taxes. Taxes are a necessary evil, I understand that. But if we have to pay them, we need to know where our money goes. And I want to know exactly where my money goes as a citizen. I believe you have that right. we ought to be able to tell you where every dollar is being spent. And you ought to be able to find out without spending days on end to do that. So I would appreciate your vote. Like I said, I'm new with this, but I'm excited about the possibilities, and I'm excited about the fact that people came tonight to hear this. This is the first of it, and I'm excited as a citizen to see what this is.
Let's get back to questions. This one comes from Jenna Baker. Briefly describe your career, summarize your work history. What skills does your career provide that would be useful in the office you wish to occupy? We'll begin with Mr. Paget.
Well, I retired after 30 years with Lynn Dixie. In the last 22 years, I was store manager at Pickens, and about 3 years before that, I was store manager at Liberty. I've employed anywhere from 75 to 450 people. I worked for a short time at Clemson, we had about 450 people. I feel like I've learned a lot of people's skills. I don't feel like tyranny is the way to lead people. That's not leadership, that's being a boss. I always pride myself in trying to be a leader, not a boss. And I feel like I've learned a lot. Some of you have worked with me over the years, and I hope that's the perception that you got as we work together. I try to be, and I will certainly do that. With City Council, I'm not, I don't want to be just a councilman. I want to be your spokesman, and that's what I would definitely try to be, a leadership for you. And you know, that would be our job, no matter who serves, that we are your voice in the community.
Well, I have 28 years in managing, owning, and operating business. I've managed people and I've managed projects. I have 10 years experience serving as your city councilman. I'm a graduate from the Municipal Elected Officials Institute of Government. I've had many additional courses from the South Carolina Municipal Association, and I've had training through ACOG, which is Appalachian Council of Governments. I've been involved in grant writing. I've been involved in the process of funding and procuring money, and I think this experience itself will speak volumes about what I've done to this point and my qualifications to serve my education and training.
I'm a self-made man. I love to write. That is my hobby. It is my job. It is my life. I have always enjoyed writing. I really don't think that success is measured in trophies or awards or promotions or how long you've held the job. I believe it's measured in your salvation. And I'm a saved man. I have dedicated my life to Christ, and I've always tried to do what's right, as the Bible tells me to do. I feel it's interesting that Mr. Sheriff would say the grant writing, because I feel like that would be something very unique that I could bring to the city. I would be able to write grants, and I believe that my website has proven that I'm successful in my writing as well. I also feel that you can't cap creativity, and I think that's one thing that I can bring to this city that will help generate revenue in the time to come. You know, I'm a high school graduate. But it's obvious, or it should be obvious to most of you, that I have a little bit better than a high school diploma. So, thank you very much.